Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tech Talk. My name is Jonathan, and today I want to go over the topic of if AI is the next revolution in tech. Let's get into it. So, we know that AI is the conversation that's taking place nowadays. We're hearing it all the time in the news, all the way up to the leadership in the White House. We are seeing all kinds of companies pulling up and coming out with different AI techniques and abilities and the capacity to do all kinds of things that you've never seen before this AI revolution, as they call it. And so it reminds me to some degree of when smartphones came out. When Apple released their first iPhone, it really transformed the smartphone industry. Before that, as you know, smartphones were that of more like with keyboards and screens, square screens, and all these little beepers and flip phones, the classic flip phones, and it's amazing to see what smartphones has done for the technology industry as a whole. It's one of the most rapid transformations of technology that we've ever seen in history. And so now we're seeing some elements of that appear through AI because now we're seeing all kinds of companies, all kinds of businesses, all kinds of jobs that either have gone away because of AI or have been created because of AI. So we're seeing that type of revolution, evolution of the technology industry in this new area of AI. And so it's really amazing to see what has happened now and what's going to be happening in the future with AI. For one, actually personally like to use AI, and I use it for good. Just like any technology, you can use it for good or for not so good. And so I use currently Gemini, which is Google's AI system, and that's helped me a lot. And actually is one of the reasons why I was able to start this YouTube channel, because I was able to input all kinds of information and get all kinds of resources through Gemini that allowed me to put this YouTube channel together and bring it up and running to where you guys are seeing it now. And so it's really amazing to see what AI has done for the industry. And so I'm really fascinated by what they're going to be doing next with it. And actually, I wanted to look at an article that came up because the other companies that are running these AIs right now are doing all kinds of amazing things with it. So, for example, TechCrunch has a number of articles related to AI. And one of the articles that they talked about was that there's now an AI-powered hiring platform that OpenAI has created to help with the hiring process now. So that is an example of a replacement of people that normally do the hiring process, and now they're using AI technology to scan their hiring, paperwork and looking at the information, their background, what references they have, all kinds of information that they can pull from that and create a prospect of whether they are qualified or not qualified for the jobs that they're applying for. And so we're seeing that now take place more than ever. And it's really scary in a way, but it's also really exciting because there's just so much potential that AI has brought to the table that we've never seen before. And so another article that also came to my mind when I was researching this was now schools are taking advantage of AI to help the institutions. So in the past, the issue that a lot of institutions and schools were having is that students were using AI, and it's still probably a problem to this day in many aspects, to cheat, if you will. They'll have them write their papers, they'll have them do all kinds of work for them that they should be doing and that they should be are the ones creatively creating for their projects, works, papers, whatever that is. But now, based on this article, what we're seeing is that there's this new technology called MathGTP, and it's supposed to be a cheat-proof AI tutor and teaching assistant. And what it's supposed to do is actually give students the ability to ask it questions, but without it giving the answer, it actually has a conversation with the student, asking it qualifying questions, asking critical thinking questions to help lead them to the answer without actually giving them the answer. And so more institutions are adopting that as well, so that they can still utilize AI in a way that benefits the students, but also still teaches them and gives them some learning capacity. Because one other thing too that we're seeing right now is that AI has also taken away, I feel, some of the educational capabilities of people, because now they're just relying strictly on AI for that. There's actually a research article that came out about that, in which they talked about the negative effects of AI in that way. And the quote that I pulled from their article was that students can inadvertently become overly dependent on AI-generated assistants, potentially detracting from their ability to make independent, well-informed decisions. And that is so true, because AI, at the end of the day, is still that. It's artificial intelligence. It's not real intelligence. And so it can still make mistakes. It can still have the capacity to give the wrong information or old or outdated information. And so people still need to do their due diligence and research when they're working with their AI. Even though I use Gemini and I get a lot of research, I still sometimes go to the web directly, look at the resources that it gave me, make sure that those resources are legitimate and they're valid, because it could make a mistake, I could get it wrong, and plus I also still want to learn. It is great that it can do some of these things for me, but I definitely still want to learn how to do some of these things myself, because if it's not available, or if I work in a situation where it's not strong enough or more advanced enough, I would say, to be able to do some things I wanted to do, I need to make sure that I have the capacity to do whatever it is that I'm trying to do, for whether it's for my channel, for other kinds of work that I want to use it for. And so it's really important that while we utilize AI to benefit us in a lot of ways, we need to make sure that it doesn't get us to the point where it's detracting us from being able to grow and learn in our own skill sets. Because if that's the case, then the people that control the AI control the people that are using it. And there's an element of independence and freedom that I like for us to all to have, where we can still enjoy the benefits of AI that helps us grow and learn, while not hooking us in a way where we don't grow and learn in other aspects as well. And so I think AI is here to stay. It definitely has incredible potential, and it's still continuing to grow. I mean, we're seeing AI generate videos and images now just based on text information and descriptors. And so it's really interesting to see what else they'll come up with through AI. But my hope is that there's a balance. You still use it for information gathering. It gives you certain things and helps you with certain processes. But at the same time, it should definitely remain within the realm of resource and, as a reference point, but not as the main point of reference for whatever is being done. Because learning is important. I think it's still, as someone that really loves technology, I don't just use AI to look at information. I still go on the web. I still, like those articles that I pointed out to, which I'll post in the description below. I looked those up, but they didn't give me those articles, the Gemini or any of the AIs that I looked up. I looked at that myself. And so AI is here to stay, definitely. And this all points to, is AI the next revolution? And I'm going to say my personal answer is yes, with an asterisk. There is a lot of potential changes that are happening, which have been happening, that has definitely pushed technology forward in a way that didn't exist even just a couple of years ago. But there's still a lot of weaknesses in AI that has to be ironed out, and certain elements that need to be remain on guardrails, so that way it doesn't prevent people from learning, but help people actually learn and grow, and people don't become over reliant on it. And so there's still work to be done in that area. I think that industry still has a lot of room to grow. I don't think it's going to be as transformative as the smartphone industry, because if you think about it, AI requires smartphones or tablets or other kinds of tools like that to be able to function. So there's a dependency on smartphones that is still important. And so I think that AI will be more of a companion, more of an enhancer in addition to what is already out there with the smartphones. Because before AI, you had Google Assistant, and then in the case of Apple, you have Siri, then Internet Explorer with certain, search functions as well, Bing, that's classic, but hey, it's still a search function. So, these are kind of the precursors to AI research. And so, and all that still rely on smartphones to be able to function accordingly. And so really, AI is definitely a tool that should be used in the vein of a companion, but not as a primary resource for what we do. So I would say there is some revolutionary aspects to AI, but it's still more evolutionary in some other aspects as well. And so over the next few years, it's going to be interesting to see what comes next of AI, because what's happened between now and just even a couple of years ago, there's been a huge acceleration of just advancements in so much AI. It's really surreal and really fascinating. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up next. So I want to hear what you guys think about AI and what your thoughts about that are for the future, what's going to happen, what are the next steps, and so yes, leave a comment below. And then if you would like to hear more of some of my other conversations on technology, subscribe to my channel, like this video if you really liked what you heard today and would love to hear more. I'm definitely going to go back and continue looking into this, because I think there's so much more to talk about in AI, so I'm excited to check that out. And don't forget to click on the notification bell as well, so that whenever new video content comes out, you'll get notified right away, and then you and I can discuss the technology that's going on out there. So thank you guys for coming to watch my video today, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys that have been here from the beginning. I really have been having fun making these videos. It's still a learning curve for me, checking out what works best, what doesn't work best. So any feedback that you guys have to give, I truly appreciate it. Please let me know, because I want to be the best that I can be for you guys in this content making journey. So thanks again for watching this video, and thank you for coming to my tech talk, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.